Hello and welcome to the big picture. The Allahabad High Court decision to stay the caste-based rallies being held across Uttar Pradesh by various political parties has received mixed reactions. The High Court's decision stating that such rallies are against the spirit of the Constitution has already evoked various responses. In a country where caste is an inalienable part of politics and more so the electoral politics, this decision is bound to raise a major debate in the country. Though the High Court will hear all parties to which it has given notices and come with a considered order later, the issues the stay has raised need to be discussed. One of the biggest questions is whether a stay on such caste-based rallies is going to reduce the influence of caste in Indian politics and more specifically electoral politics. We will discuss this and other issues which come out of it today with Dr. Manoj Kumar, spokesman of the Rashtriya Janata Dal and also a Delhi University academic, Dr. Vimal Thorat, Convenor All India Dalit Mahila Adhikar Manch and also a professor of Hindi in the IGNOU, Vinod Sharma, political editor Hindustan Times, Vikas Singh will be joining us very soon, and on the phone line from Allahabad is Professor Badri Narayan of the Govind Ballabh Pant Institute. Welcome to all of you. Let me go to Mr. Professor Badri Narayan first. Professor Badri Narayan, this decision, this stay given by the Allahabad High Court, is this something which will make any change as far as the influence of caste in politics or in electoral politics is concerned in Uttar Pradesh?
Look, caste in politics not going to stop with decision, but it's going to generate a tension and a challenge for democracy and political parties to develop a new language. For this language based on caste for mobilizing people is if it's banned at public space, then there may be a need for political party to develop new language for BSP especially and SP. But in the village level meetings, in the basti level meetings, they will continue this kind of discourses. But at public rallies, at public level, space level, and media, I think it will stop that kind of purification of caste identity. I'm not giving any value whether it's right or wrong, but I'm just giving the processes. And BSP, especially for BSP, there is a crisis because they have to develop a new language for mobilizing people.
Okay. Okay, Professor Badri Narayan, please stay back. I'll come back to you. You raised some interesting points. Manoj Kumar, coming to you. It's very interesting what Professor Badri Narayan says. He says that what maybe the impact may be different, but the political parties will have to find new language to address. Do you agree with that?
No, I personally feel very strongly that there are times in history when you should not just be euphoric about any and every judgment. And I personally believe that this judgment of Allahabad High Court is devoid of understanding the critical reality of India. I mean, in the judgment lines, you come across that it is creating caste-based divisions. I'm afraid caste rallies are not creating caste-based divisions. Caste rallies are basically political posturing, political assertion in a democracy where number matters. We have seen from the days of Triveni Sangh in the 1930s, if the lower caste, the subaltern castes and communities, they had not come together, they had not congregated. Today, what we see in their assertion, the entire history, the entire story would have been different. I very strongly feel that this is not, you are not living in a utopian stage. In India, Rajni Kothari wrote long back, politicization of caste. Caste is a reality. There are hundreds of institutions, including family and marriage. They sustain caste. Politics alone does not sustain caste. What politics has done, that it has given a new, a modern meaning to caste, and democracy has been fairly compatible in the case of India. Now, you can have differences on how caste is used, why this sammelan or that sammelan, that is the contextual frame in Allahabad or in UP. But the fact is that this judgment of not allowing caste sammelans and caste rallies will have serious repercussion on on the oppressed communities, on the oppressed caste.
Okay.
I mean, how would they fight for their rights?
No, okay, you made a point that it will have serious impact on the oppressed communities. That is very interesting. Dr. Vimal Thorat, you think that this kind of banning of rallies can have an impact on the oppressed communities?
I don't think so. If the rally is organized for the consciousness or the awareness, it doesn't have the impact which we are talking about. But if the rally is used for political purpose, or it is communalization of that the caste, that will hamper the society, and that is not.
But
that will not be that should not be allowed in the democratic country.
Vinod?
You see, Girish, I look at it very differently since yesterday.
No, there are 2-3 other issues. Because one issue I want you to address also is, in the order, it says that, it is violative of the spirit of the Constitution.
No, I'm on that only.
Yes.
You see, right to association and collective bargaining. Now, if you destroy trade unions where people used to get together regardless of their caste, creed or community, religion, on socio-economic issues, ever since the early 90s you have destroyed those trade unions. They had their downsides, but then they made people agitate collectively and inclusively. Ever since then you have seen a whole lot of political parties and caste-based parties emerging. So, right to association.
It's very interesting. You're linking the
economic reforms process, which destroyed the trade
union process, and the emergence of the caste-based parties.
Yes, precisely. I am doing that, and I am also saying that this judgment denies me, if I am a Brahmin, my right to association and collective bargaining with other of my clansmen. This is the point number 2. Point number 3 is that.
Why does it deny it?
Because he says you can't have rallies. How do I associate and collect? I mean, I have to become a social pressure point in order to.
No, no, 1 second. Let us clarify this. I think this orders talks about political parties holding caste rallies.
You are living in this era of political economy.
It won't stop you. It won't stop you as a Brahmin to collect your fellow Brahmins and hold a meeting. I don't think that should not be a problem.
I think the court's honorable judges have got it all wrong. You see, by banning political rallies, caste-based political rallies, of say a leader like Mayawati, for whom it is an inclusive pitch. I mean, she is reaching out to Brahmins. Here was a Dalit leader who, in the initial parts of her career, she kept on hammering on her Dalit identity. Now she is trying to broaden her base, make it more inclusive, in the realization that in a country like India, you cannot be the Prime Minister, for instance, if you are a sectarian person, be it on caste basis, be it on religious basis. So, UP has been seeing caste-based leaders reaching out to other castes, making their politics more inclusive. And the Supreme Court judgment is coming in the way of that very, very progressive process. I view it that way. And thirdly, I think Mahatma Gandhi said, you can't fight caste by banning rallies. Maybe the Supreme Court, the High Court should have proposed that if people who have intercaste marriages, their children should be given preference for admission in schools which are more sought after.
We are going out of.
What I am saying is that if you are trying to fight caste, you have to change the mindset, and there are other ways of doing it.
I don't know whether the Supreme Court, Allahabad High Court's intention was to fight caste. I'll get Manoj, you want to react? Before I go to Vikas Singh, I would like to go to, yes, Manoj.
Just a small observation.
Yes.
Very quick rebuttal. I draw my argument today from on 24th or 25th of November 1949, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar made a very impassioned speech in Constituent Assembly, and he underlined what we are debating today, that political democracy is co-terminus with social and economic democracy. And in India, last 60 years, please don't look at, there is a tendency to look at this caste-based association from a particular vantage point. These caste-based associations have also resulted in, through politics, secularization of caste.
And empowering.
If I go by the first choice, secularization of caste has taken place, and we cannot deny that. And second instance, I'll tell you, in India, where caste and class matrix, they merge, how do you deal with that situation?
How do you know, when you say that secularization of caste has taken place, can you explain that?
I'll tell you. You know something? Caste remain in the realm of primary group affiliation, marriage, endogamy, pollution, purity. Today, caste has traveled. Caste has become, I'm sorry to say, use the word of Rajni Kothari, the say 20th century trade union for political democracy in India. There you find large number of issues which were relating to pollution and purity in caste. They have undergone a paradigm shift, and politics should be credited with that. Because it's a time that we do politician bashing.
But Manoj,
politics distinct from political class.
But Manoj, I'm still not sure how you explain the secularization of caste. Anyway, I'll come back to you. I want to take this issue to Mr. Vikas Singh, former Additional Solicitor General of India. Mr. Vikas Singh, one of the issues raised by the stay order, while giving the stay, the court says that it violates these caste-based rallies violate the spirit of the Constitution. So, do you think this violates the spirit of the Constitution?
On the contrary, I feel that this order of the High Court violates the spirit, not the spirit, but the guarantee of the Constitution. If you ask me, if a particular caste group, although I am very much against the caste system that is prevalent in this country, but you have to look at ways and means to tackle it. This is not the way and mean that it should be done, and our Constitution does not permit it. If you ask me, under Article 19(1), there is a guarantee for anybody to make associations and protest in a peaceful manner. So if you are actually banning this, unless if the association is otherwise illegal for some reason, like for instance, if they are going to fan some enmity, or there is a prohibitory order in place,
sorry,
or
Mr.
if there is some other
Mr.
good
Vikas,
reason to,
Mr. Vikas Singh,
but if the association is otherwise legal, then to ban it on caste basis, according to me, is extremely contrary to the guarantee of the Constitution. What to say of the spirit?
Mr.
The
Vikas,
guarantees
no,
the
Mr. Vikas
fundamental
Singh,
rights are the guaranteed
Mr.
rights
Vikas
of
Singh, Mr. Vikas Singh, sorry to intervene.
Yes.
One of the things which is said in this order also is that these kind of rallies fans hatred among communities and creates problems and divides people.
No, but that's a presumption of the High Court. If the order as I stand today is saying that a caste-based rally is not to be held, what the people who assemble to do are going to do later after the assembly is not something which the High Court can sort of predict, unless if there was some material before them which said that a particular caste rally which is going to be held, the agenda is already disclosed, and that agenda is something which is either anti-national, or it is going to fan some kind of a communal this thing. For instance, I'll give you a case where a rally is organized based by say Hindus, and the large overt theme of the rally as exhibited in the posters which exhort people to come for the rally is supposing anti-Muslims. If that be so, and it's a general kind of a thing, then in that so it has to be banned, but that will have to be a separate ban which the district administration will have to take on a case-to-case basis.
So you think
can't just ban a rally merely because caste is there, merely because there is a apprehension that it can lead to some kind of a communal, unless you have specific information.
So
this
you
kind
think
of a ban is a complete ban, or without going into this specific of a particular rally.
No, Mr. Vikas Singh, do you think that
Mr.
Vikas Singh, if a particular political party advertisers puts up posters, says that we are going to hold a rally of Brahmins, a rally of Yadavs, a rally of Dalits or whatever, you don't think that is violative of the spirit of the Constitution?
Absolutely not. There is no violation of the spirit of the Constitution. In fact, I say to the contrary, it's a guarantee which the Constitution has given to caste or community of this country.
Okay.
I started off by saying that I'm against the caste system, and I feel that there should be, but you should bring in ways which are legal ways. You can't bring in this kind of an order to justify that you are banning these kind of rallies.
Okay. On that note, I think we need to go into a very short break now. We'll come back very soon and continue this discussion. Please keep watching. Welcome back. We are discussing the ban on caste rallies by the Allahabad High Court and asking the question, will it reduce the influence of caste in Indian politics or in electoral politics? Dr. Thorat, if this kind of ban takes place, do you agree that caste is still something which plays a very major role in Indian politics or Indian society itself?
Yes, it is. It is. But when the caste reality is there, caste is the reality of the Indian society.
Yes.
But when the caste taken as a tool to get more votes और क्या कहेंगे उसे कि अगर उसके लिए जाति का सांप्रदायिकरण करे या हिंसा, और अभी जो एक वक्ता ने कहा है कि शायद विकास जी सिंह की बात है, लेकिन अगर जाति का सहारा लेकर कोई अगर एक बहुत बड़े हिंसात्मक हमले करता है तो आप उसे कहाँ रखेंगे? कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन जब समता, न्याय और स्वाधीनता की बात करता है तो उस समता और स्वाधीनता के लिए या न्याय के लिए अगर वो लड़ाई लड़ने के लिए कोई कोशिश है उस समता की तरफ जाने की, अगर कास्ट बेस पर जो डिस्क्रिमिनेशन है विद इन द सोसाइटी, if somebody is fighting against that discrimination, that alienation, this is another thing.
So you don't think that these caste-based rallies are actually aimed at bringing people together? You think that they are aimed at dividing the people?
But why then the Brahmin rally? Why then the name under the banner of the Brahmin rally, Rajput rally, Kshatriya rally, Paswan rally, or other name you can take, and then using the symbols of the dharmas,
yes,
the different communities,
and their gurus,
that will create the division, more division. It is not bringing together the democratic right. If you are franchise the democratic right, then there should not be this division. Should not be appear in the arena of the people.
Actually, yes, Manoj, see, this is a point which is made by many people also. Yes. What Vimal Thorat is also making, that these are very, very obvious ways of trying to get or lure certain communities, and which can also create problems. The other communities can get provoked by these kind of rallies. So don't you think that this is an obviously politically motivated, trying to divide the society rather than bringing people together?
I must admit that when Vimal was saying or you are saying that I have no fundamental difference. What I am saying that this is a very, very ideal textbookish explanation that I don't like caste because I see symbols on display. But the reality is, in a democracy, how do you do political posturing? How do you assert yourself? The entire affirmative action politics in India, it would not have achieved what it has achieved if there were no rallies, if there were no assertion, if there were no collective articulation and collective expression. Now, it might appear to some that this Sammelan done by this or that or AB.
Manoj, please. My question is this collective expression or is this divisive expression?
No, I have a fundamental difference here. Why should we call it divisive expression? It's a collective expression. I mean, I'm telling you, today we have moved a great chapter on social justice plank. It would not have happened if these caste groups or the lower subaltern castes and communities, they had not asserted, come together and spoken. In politics,
this is not just,
you speak through numbers.
This is not just about subaltern communities, Manoj. Here is a political party, the two, three political parties. They're talking of bringing the Brahmins together. They're having Brahmin Bhaichara Sammelans.
No.
and Samajwadi Party is
No,
holding
this,
Brahmin
this is
Bhaichara
where I
Sammelans.
wanted you to come.
Where is the subaltern question here?
So, no, that's what I'm telling you. Then the judgment requires qualifiers. You cannot have a blanket ban. That is why I said
Okay.
that judgment
Okay.
should be relating to the critical social reality of India.
Okay, yes, Vimal, quickly if you want to react.
We remember during the 2002 riot in Gujarat, before that the demolition of Babri Masjid, people use trishuls, a symbol of Hindutva.
Yes.
So that is not divisive. Is it a collective symbol of the Hinduism or Hindutva or the Indian
divisive.
society? It was
Highly
not.
divisive.
And what happened after that? We are
still witnessing the repercussions of that. Yes, Vinod.
And still we are not able to overcome it.
Yes,
No, I
Vinod.
There
think
has to be a difference between
Manoj.
Trisul wielding crowd and Dalits and subalterns coming together.
Okay. Manoj, I want Vinod to come in here.
There's a difference.
Vinod.
Well, this is not a reasoned judgment. This is a populist judgment in my view. It is totally divorced from the ground realities of India. I see no reason why people can't get together to assert their socio-economic rights on the basis of their origins.
Okay.
I mean,
I'll get Vikas Singh wants to react. Yes, Mr. Vikas Singh.
Yes, I'll tell you, we are actually missing the real point in this controversy.
Yes.
If you know, it's more of an intelligence input. When the constitution gives you the guarantee to have an association like this, it is also hedged by certain safeguards where the government by law or otherwise can, sort of restrain you from going in this kind of a rally if public order, etc. are likely to be threatened. Now the case of Ayodhya, when this assembly took place,
Yes.
there was definite intelligence information that something like this is being planned.
Right.
So definitely the government should have taken action to disperse the rally at that point of time. But then that's a case-to-case decision. It's not a blanket ban. You can't say that these kind of rallies per se, supposing the Hindus were just congregating to celebrate the birth of the Lord. If that be a simple sitter, say a religious meeting, can you say that it needs to be banned and it is going to create?
Mr. Vikas Singh, the context,
the guarantee of the constitution.
Mr. Vikas saying the context here is about political parties, individual groups, maybe religious groups or caste-based groups holding some.
Saying. So it will extend to,
those are different things. I don't think this order comes in the way of that.
That's what I'm saying. So even if a political party is wanting to hold a rally, say supposing some particular community is having a very raw deal in the affairs of the administration and they are not getting proper education, etc. And if those people are being sought to be mobilized just to ensure that they are sort of looked at towards and the government takes more care towards them, that's a perfectly legitimate rally. I mean, you can't say so. It will have to be a case-to-case basis.
Okay,
you'll have to see the purpose of the rally, and if the purpose
Professor
is going to be
Narayan,
ultimately fanning something.
Okay, Professor Badri Narayan, you think that you must have heard all the arguments here. You think you think that this caste-based rally, this decision of the High Court. Do you agree with the decision of the High Court, as Vinod says that it's a poor judgment, it should not have been the way it is? In any case, now that yes.
I think it's the right moment when High Court intervened in this process. It was needed. Otherwise, there was no end, because thousands of rallies is going on here. Not only family conference, there are other places also, and each conference creates hatred for others.
So you think?
No,
Professor Badri Narayan, you think that these kind of rallies divide people rather than bringing them together?
It links with particular political parties, but it at the same time divides also. It's a linking process, but also dividing process. Dividing at two levels. At one level within caste also, you see those who are the elites of the caste, they are getting benefit from this all caste rallies, and not the caste as such. The grassroots people, subaltern about which someone was talking, and I think it's very reactionary kind of discussion people are doing here. only I am agreeing with Vimalji that where it will go, it will lead to our society. So I am the person who always supported identity politics, but now is the time when one has to think critically. And this public, about what Vinod was saying, this is a public space, and one should allow the rallying in public space. This public is not critical public. It's not coming for critically evolve a kind of social norm for living together.
So you think they're vulnerable public who can be taken for a ride?
To glorify the caste and that glorification may lead hatred for others. So it's dividing in that process. This is the problem of identity politics.
Okay, Badri Narayan, I think we are running out of time. I'm sorry, we are running out of time. Yes, very quickly, both of you.
I would like to bring the issue of Dharampuri or the Khairlanji, and before that Jhajjar was happened in Haryana.
Yes.
So the people who affected from that violence, they come out and they protest against the violence against on them.
Yes.
That is the another thing.
Yes.
But what my friend Badriji is talking about, it's when there is a awareness and the consciousness. There is a difference between the awareness and consciousness.
Yes.
Consciousness create the consolidation of the caste.
Yes.
We are the supreme. We are the supreme.
They get empowered.
So, yeah.
Okay.
So this is a very wrong.
Okay. Vinod, quickly.
Well, you have commissions in this country: Scheduled Caste Commission, Scheduled Tribe Commission, Minorities Commission, Backward Caste Commission. What are we talking about? Are these commissions illegal? Why did not the High Court give a judgment abolishing these commissions? The tribals fought for their rights over forest produce as a community because their problems were similar. That binds them. So long as assembly is peaceful, so long as it is peaceful, so long as the people are together in assertion of their collective rights, I do not think any court has any business in this country to be denying them that right.
Okay.
And if it does, that judgment will be overturned by the higher court.
Okay, let us see. We will have to wait for the higher court, but before that, the High Court of Allahabad itself will have to hear this case fully, and it has sought opinions from the political parties, what they think of it, and then after that they will have to come out with a considered judgment. We'll wait and watch, but this has really stirred up quite a few things in this country, and I'm sure this debate will continue. Thanks to all my guests, Mr. Vikas Singh, Professor Manoj, Dr. Vimal, Thorat, Vinod Sharma, and Professor Badri Narayan. Please keep watching. We'll come back with another issue in the big picture, same time on Monday. And meanwhile, have a great weekend.